Hey guys and girls, my name's Dan, welcome back to The Forge. In this episode of Trust Me, I'm a Blacksmith. Let's have another hammer time. Okay, if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen a hammer time before, basically they're kind of like toolbox chat slash a little bit of video footage of me doing something out of the normal that I don't feel necessarily warrants a video of its own, because either it's not 100% related to blacksmithing or it's something else. Another thing I like to do in this video, which I'm going to do now, sometimes I leave it to the end of the video, but I'm going to do it now because I owe my beautiful Patreons, each and every one of you is amazing, and I'd just like to say thank you. Thank you to everyone that supports the channel. I don't want anyone to feel like I'm segregating anyone by shouting out the Patreons, but they do help me a lot because they pledge money to help keep the YouTube side of this channel alive, and I couldn't do it without them. The pledging really supports the channel, and it really does help me. So thank you, every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for pledging. I'm going to give some shout out to some new Patreons: John Tompkins, Forged by Hammerhead, Penny Brown, and Fred Cole. Now, guys, I'm a little bit crazy at the minute. So if I haven't given you a shout out in a video yet, and you have been pledged for a little while, please just send me an email just saying, "Oi Dan, you didn't give me a shout out," and the next time I do a Patreon video, which there will be a few more coming very soon, I will get on top of it and give you guys a shout out as well. But also, I'm just going to put the names of all my lovely Patreons up right now. And once again, guys, thank you so much for pledging. It really does help. You're buying the extra bags of coke, you're buying the extra material, you're allowing me the time to put a little bit more effort into these videos. Hopefully that comes through and you are keeping the lights on in the building. So it does really 100% help. If you're waiting for stuff, please hang on, send me an email. I am the sort of person that gets it there. It just takes me longer than most to get it there. But if you are a Patreon, I think you understand that, and I think one of the reasons you're pledging is because you want to help support, not necessarily because you're after the goodies. But the goodies are 100% epic, and I promise that. Okay, so this video is about me making some architectural work, some really heavy stuff. I've been making a couple of sets of stairs, some landings, and I'm just going to go over that in this video and show you everything. Well, today has been one of those days, as they say, and I'm a little bit behind. But I've picked up some stuff from the laser cutters. This lovely pile of stuff here. I'm just going to open it up, and we've got so much stuff in the way at the minute I can't get through to the workshop, so I'm going to have to take it all through by hand. Okay, so sorry about the shiny reflection. Here we have a table full of what can only be described as a serious amount of heavy laser cuts. So these are risers for a staircase. These are risers for the other staircase. Base plates. These are also risers for staircases. These are treads. Some more treads. This piece here is a landing mount. Jigs here to help me drill the holes, and then these are some buttresses, and then this large piece at the top there. Okay, sorry, there's a bit of noise in the background. They've got some lambs next door. They're going nuts. You think they're feeding them or something. So, okay. What do we have here? Well, we have a serious amount of laser cuts, and I just want to talk a little bit about this job and the process that we're going through. This job in particular is for a customer that's having 2 flights of stairs built, and then once we've got those in place, and I'll talk a little bit about the finite points of getting things in place and getting everything ready. We then need to, and then hopefully some handrails, and then after that there'll be more and more handrails to come. Now, this is a very large architectural piece of work. It's something that I'm quite excited to be working on. It combines several aspects of my practice that I really enjoy, and you will see when we get to the railings where more of the aspects of my fascination with metalwork are once again. Basically, I drew all of these components that you see on the table. A company in town called Central Engineering. They cut these with their 2 kilowatt Mizaki laser. It's a fibre optic jobby, and I think it's nitrogen cooled for the larger stuff, or CO. I can't remember which way around it is. CO2 cooled for the larger stuff, and then it's nitrogen cooled for the smaller stuff. And you can see there's quite a big difference between the quality of the cut. Not that the quality of the cut on here is bad, it's better than what I can do with a gas axe, that's for sure. The difference between the quality between the 5mm, the 10mm, and then the 15mm. I've got a variety of sizes. These are 5mm pieces here. I'll put the American down here somewhere. These are 15mm, and then these are 10mm. And I'm going to be taking some angle iron, equal angle iron, and I'm going to be hot riveting these pieces here in between the angle iron. There is some welding in this job, and there's a reason for the welding, yes, this is it, this is the job. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy walking through this process with me, the making of this piece. I will show you some drawings in the next video, or whatever this video becomes. I don't know where we are at the minute with this. This is probably going to be part of hammer time, but I will be going through this process, and I will be showing you all the lovely things that are going to come out of, hopefully out of these laser cuts. Right, so I've put this on here, got him all squared up, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tack it on. And something that I like to do, especially if I'm concerned about the piece moving backwards and forwards, is I like to tack the ends, the sides where I don't want the deflection to happen, and that tends to keep it nice and straight. So I'm going to do that now. So this may have lifted backwards and forwards like this way, but it definitely hasn't moved anywhere this way, as you can see. Square is nice and square. Okay, and exactly the same again with these buttress pieces. I'm going to tack here and here. Now, on the last one that I did, they pulled up ever so slightly, so I'm just going to keep a bit of pressure on this side when I do that tack, but hopefully that will all hold in nicely. Lovely and square. Okay, so I'm going to start welding this piece together, but before I start welding it together, I just sort of go through some little welding process pointers. I'm not an amazing welder, this is just things I've learned over the years, so let me show you. I have tacked the start of each weld and the end of each weld, so I've got a little tack here and one here. And what I will do, and you'll have seen this when I do the speedy up bit in a minute, is I'll start here, I'll run a weld down here, and then I'll try and move that heat the opposite as far as possible. So I'll come to this side, I'll run a weld down here, and then to disperse that heat some more, I'll then come over probably to this side and put a weld in here, and then come round and put a weld in here, and then hopefully that'll move the heat around this piece a little bit, help preventing it from warping. The other thing you can see, I've got this really big thick, he's probably 1.5 inches, maybe a bit thicker piece of plate here up on the table, and I've clamped it down at the corners. And what you'll find is if I run a bead along here, it'll tend to pull these bits that are sticking out, and these clamps are just here just to keep this down so that it can't pull the material left and right. Right then, I'm just going to show you what's happening in the shop. Alex is here, he's giving me a hand, bless him. I've been welding up, I'll show you. I've been welding up these bad boys, and I've got that one to put together now. I'm going to do that in just a second. And these are the uprights for the stairs. They are, I'm going to go outside and show you the rest in a minute. They are, let's have a look. See that? Nice cut there. 100 by 100 by 12, or 4 inch by 4 inch by ½ inch, and by ek, they's heavy. Right, so that's that bit. Alex is cutting some now, like a trooper. So he's cutting some now, and I'll show you the rest of the stuff that's outside. So this is the rest of the stuff here. So there's 12 meters of the angle iron and 7 and a bit meters of this box, which is 150 by 100 by 5, I think it is. Yeah, 5 mil. Anyway, so these bits are all going to get cut up over the next couple of days and turned into the landings and the uprights for the stairs. And the forging part comes, well, it's not really forging, it's just kind of riveting. That's going to come later on. We're going to put those bits together. Yeah. Okay, so I was hoping that there was going to be some forging in this hammer time. Unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be any in here because there's so much to do. We've got these pieces here, which I've got a problem because I'm not sure if this is right. This doesn't look right. Anyway, I've got to re-drill some holes. But that's going to happen on Monday. That's my first job to do on Monday. But basically, these bits go into the ground, and then these bits run up, and they're the bottom string of the stairs. And I've got to do the other side yet, but I haven't done that. And then these lovely bits that Alex has been cutting all afternoon, these bits of angle iron here, and these pieces here, these are going to be the landing. If you can see that, it's upside down, that is. And then this bolt here is where the bottom part of the stairs is going to connect to. So we've got 2 landings to make, and that's a bit of welding to do. But all of these parts here are going to get riveted together. So some big 16 mil rivets. I'm going to make those next week. But we've got a bit of a rush. I've got to get those bits there, these bits here, and these bits fitted on site by the end of next week. Okay, so here we have a little bit of a sample for you guys to see what things are actually going to look like. I'm sorry about the mess. So what you can see here is, let's have a look down here. In between, you can see that I've sandwiched these pieces in between. I've drilled these holes through on and bolted them together, but these are going to be taken out and swapped over for rivets, and they in turn create these treads. Hopefully you can see that. So just like that. So they run up there like so. Okay, so I'll be doing a live this Sunday, which is the 13th of May, at 9 p.m. UK time, or it is, I think it's 4 a.m. So at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hopefully you guys can join me for that. What I will be doing is I'll be going through the last couple of videos. I'll be looking for any questions or any interesting comments. So I'll get like 10 or 11 of those, 10, 12, 11, something like that. Of those, I will go through those questions as I go, as the show starts. But if you have questions that you want to ask me, go ahead and ask, and I will hopefully be able to answer those questions for you. If I can't answer them, hopefully I can find someone who can. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've really enjoyed making these. They've turned out absolutely fabulously. It's a brick project, and I'm really excited to do it. This is the sort of work that I went to university to be able to design and get. All of the designs for these are mine. I worked with the customer to design this. I also did all the drawings on CAD. I stocked all the materials, so on and so forth. This is what I've set myself up to do. It's what I love, and just as a little note, I will not stop doing this. This is what I do for a living, and the YouTube channel is something that I'm expanding into as I'm going through my business. So this is the stuff that brings in the bread, basically, at the end of the day. And that brings me on to another subject of the slight changes that will be happening to the channel. The reason I'm making the changes is so I can improve it for you guys. I am not desperate for 100,000 subscribers. I am not desperate for a super massive channel. All I want to do is share good information with you guys, advice. I want to make nice videos, good quality videos, and that has worthwhile content in it. And I also want to have a life, and being someone who wants to do this sort of work alongside making the hammers and tools for you guys, but also making the videos, which I really enjoy doing. I need to be able to have some time off, or some time to myself, or time to spend with my family, and yeah, that's something that I'm not getting enough of at the minute, and I really need to think about that and how I put these videos together. I think that's everything, and hopefully you enjoyed watching this. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it for you, and if you did enjoy this video, remember to either like and subscribe if you haven't already, and if you are a subscriber, ring that bell for notifications. I'm not sure what difference it makes anymore, but ring it anyway, because sometimes it'll tell you when I make a video, or go over into your settings and change your notifications so you know whenever I make a video, because you have the power to do that. I will leave a link up here to a video of me of a previous hammer time. I'll leave another link down here to just a random video that came out recently. This is my Patreon, and this is the subscribe button. Go and check those out, go and find out a bit more about the channel, and see if you liked it. Thanks guys for joining me. Bye bye.